I'm going to try to insert the earliest photo that I've taken of the damage, but I don't think my earliest photo was a photo that was truly that early. Hi Usi gang, welcome back to my channel in this 2022 new year. This is the first video I'm making in the new 2022 year, and yes, it's February. I'm really gonna try hard to get this video out while still in February, but we're gonna ignore what time in the new year it is because I know my last video was probably back in early December and I'm overdue for a new one. I have missed you all so much. I had to take a little break, but I think it's safe to say that we are finally back and up and at it. For those who don't know, my name is Usone Kaku, and I run this channel called Usone Precious, where I make videos on natural hair, beauty, and lifestyle. So if that's the kind of thing that you are into, then this is the channel to subscribe to. Hello? Anyway, yes. So I wanted to come here and talk to you all about a hair struggle that I have been dealing with. Towards the end of 2021, and it's kind of an embarrassing one, but I realized that, I'm not the only person who has this issue. What I wanted to discuss is I don't know if I should call it hand in hair syndrome or trichotillomania. I honestly don't know really which one it is. Trichotillomania is actual hair pulling, and hand in hair syndrome is when you constantly have your hands in your hair. And I think for me, I've battled this issue several times in my life. And I think for me, at certain times, it's been, yes, this is very much more like trichotillomania. And other times, I can say this is more just hand in hair syndrome, and I end up having the same effect as trichotillomania. I think this time around, it was probably more of a hand in hair syndrome thing, and I ended up having the same effect as, if I had trichotillomania. The point is, my hands have been in my hair again, and they ended up causing me some damage to the point where I really thinned out my hair, and I had to get a recut. Very early January, like first week, I got a complete recut, and it's pretty much the same cut that I got back last year in February. So I think this is probably gonna be the first video on my channel where I talk about a setback. And setbacks happen to the best of us. I just want you all to know that I did make very great accomplishments with my hair last year, but honestly, I'm truly glad I got this cut because it was truly needed. In short, life is easier with the cut now because it was taking too long to get ready in the morning because my shape was just messed up from my issue. And I've definitely mentioned it in the past on Instagram. So some of you may already know about my issue, and I have another video on this channel where I talk about dealing with this same issue, but in a different area of my hair. But this time, the area that was affected was in the back, the very back, like right square in the middle. Not even right just in the middle, but kind of towards, more towards the left, but in the middle all the same. And though I mentioned it on Instagram, it's not like I really ever showed pictures or an image of what was truly going on, because to be honest with you, I was just truly so embarrassed with how the back of my head looked. And it was to the point where I would be so scared, just so conscious of not trying to tilt my head down, because any little tilt you could see how sparse my hair was back there from all the pulling. I'm going to try to insert the earliest photo that I've taken of the damage, but I don't think my earliest photo was a photo that was truly that early. Though I don't think that I fully recovered or gotten away from it, I do feel like I've gotten to a very good place now where I can say that me messing with my back is not much of an issue anymore. I can go days now where I'm not picking at it or messing with it just constantly. I guess I will show you right now what my back is looking like, and I will insert photos of my most recent wash day. Okay, so here's the back of my head. I think I'm at a point now where my hair has started to recover and there's some regrowth happening in there. I'm glad it didn't take me to going fully bald before I actually stopped this time. So yeah, this is my hair, and if I have my head just straight, then you can't really see what was going on. But if I tilt it down, you can probably see, yeah, you can see sparseness. It's like right up in this area. And honestly, truthfully, y'all, this area has always been sparse. Even with the regrowth that will eventually happen, this area is still going to look sparse in places. I've just always had a sparse area right here. So regardless, it's always sparse, but because of my my hand picking thing, it's become even sparser. So how do I think this period of hand and hair issue / trick issue started? Late summer, fall. Okay, let's just go with that. Towards the fall. I know that there was a period when I was trying to experiment with only finger detangling. I do not recommend, but yes, I had learned the way to finger detangle, to properly finger detangle, and I was noticing that when I started finger detangling during my wash days, instead of using my detangling brush, I would notice that midweek I would get these very hard to detangle knots in my hair. And me when I find a knot in my hair, it's gonna be really hard for me to ignore that knot once I found it. Because of my messing with the knots that I would find back there midweek, and I don't know why for some reason my hand would just always gravitate to check for knots back here in this area, but it just did, and I would always find some. And too many times what would often happen is I probably wouldn't have scissors around, or I would try so hard to untie the knot before reaching for the scissors that the accidental pulling that I keep doing to the back of my hair would just pull the strand completely out and make it come completely out. So it got to a point where I was sure that, I felt in my head that I was sure that I had already started causing some accidental thinning to my hair. And once that happens, once I start feeling in my head that I am sure I have thinned out my hair somewhere, for some reason, you would think that would tell my mind to, hey, stop touching your hair. Leave that area alone. Don't mess with that area. But no, in fact, it tells my nerves to do the opposite, because I'm always going to be wanting to check to be sure that I know what I know, or check to try and tell myself that I am wrong in what I know and that I didn't cause any damage. Once I started feeling in my head that I actually had caused thinning, my hands were just reaching back there. It doesn't really happen when I'm in public, It more so happens when when I'm alone. So in the car, when I'm driving home from work, my hand at some point during the drive would reach back there. When I'm sitting at my desk trying to do things, or I'm just idle with my time, my hand would reach back there. Even when I wasn't being completely idle with my time, and my hand would still somehow be back there. Eventually, what I was thinking I was noticing, which was the thinness, actually became a reality, and I actually did truly have thinness that people honestly could probably see now at this point. And then on top of that, I've had some stress added into my life, and typically when I'm stressed, that's when incidents like this tend to happen, and I just start pulling. Some of you have asked me ways that you yourself can deal with this, because I know I'm not the only one, and the fact that I've had people come to me, DM me, and ask me about this issue because they themselves are dealing with it has made me really see that I really need to put this video out. How have I been dealing with it so that you can deal with it too, and hopefully get to the level that I am, or the level where I have been, where I can go a year or years without picking, or just hopefully never pick again, because clearly I'm still trying to get to the point where I've gone years without picking, but I've never gotten to the point where I just completely never pick my hair out or mess with my hair to the point where it comes out again. Hopefully this time it ends up being the case. Definitely find ways to manage your stress, but one thing that I've really incorporated this time that's very new to me is the use of fidget toys. Fidget toys, y'all, toys are there for a reason. Fidget toys are there for a reason. Fidget toys, I'm realizing why they're a thing. And it's for us people, y'all. Those of us who need something to do with our hands, those fidget toys are made for us, okay? You don't really need a whole full collection of like 10, 20 fidget toys. Honestly, you can go with just one. All you need really is one. Yes, also to stop my hand in hair syndrome, I don't go a wash day without finger detangling anymore after learning my lesson with that experiment. Yeah, I am using my brush every wash day now, and I feel like it has since then been much safer for my hair, because clearly my hair and fingers do not get along, and I have been happier with that ever since. Try to be occupied with things that require you to do things with your hands. I will say that in my job right now, I am constantly using my hands, and so I never really felt an urge to pull, because my hands were just, they don't really have a lot of time to be idle there. Also, another thing is I noticed, for me personally, I noticed that I tend to like to pull most when I am not around people, because I think because it just goes back to how embarrassing it is for me. I tried to make sure I was having times when I was around the company of others, whether it be in public with people I did know, or in public with people I didn't know, or if I invited someone over, just having people around me. And so that basically doing that kind of helped my mind to not tell my fingers to go there. And then another thing that I think did help me somewhat with keeping my hands out of my hair is I would mark the days on my planner where I didn't pull or put my hands to the back of my hair even once in the 24 hours, and I would try to hold that streak. I don't know, it's just something for me. It's a sense of accomplishment, and it makes me think that my hair where I've pulled it is growing back already. Hopefully this helps you, those of you who are struggling like me. You know, we on the same boat together, but don't worry, we're on the same boat together, but we're gonna reach land together. So yeah, you know, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for coming to this TED Talk. And you know, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, like this video, because you know, it took me so long to come out with this, and I've been honestly meaning to come out with this video since last year, and I'm glad that I'm finally able to get this over with. Add your comments below. Have you ever struggled with this? Is there anything that has helped you that I didn't mention and I didn't think about using for me? You know, because it's not too late. You know, I want to battle this thing for good, and I'm sure other people want to too. So yeah, leave your comments below, and I will see you next time. Bye.